Hello, yeah. Everybody can hear me? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, before I get started with my experiences in life and other things, one of the things that I did not disclose to Dr. Kalyana Sundaram is that I also used to be a radio jockey in my college days. So I'm going to greet you all in a typical radio jockeying style, and I want you all to reciprocate with all energy. So good evening, Bangalore! Alright, thank you very much for that. Coming back to the agenda, yes, I think it's really been an honor for me to be sitting amongst such eminent personalities. I can't tell you what different types of anxieties I was going through, but I think probably if I sit with a psychiatrist, he can diagnose that. Yes, and if I say that it's been a privilege for me to have been invited here and given the title of, or have been called a guest of honor, if I say it's been a privilege or an honor, that would be an understatement because this is something that I never imagined. Well, okay. So before I get down to my experiences and what I've really gone through, I am said to be a user, a very euphemistic term that doctors use, right? Instead of patients or sufferer, they say the new term in vogue is user. So fine, so I'm a user, and my diagnosis is that of obsessive compulsive disorder and manic depressive psychosis or bipolar disorder, I don't know, whichever is better known. And I have been grappling with this for the past 15 years. I still remember that day in 1998. I actually heard I heard something on radio which was about psychiatry, obsessive compulsive disorder, and I knew that something's going wrong in my mind. But what is it? I didn't know. Something's wrong. But what is it? It's kind of an enigma. So I personally without my parents are divorced, so I used to stay alone there in a paying guest accommodation. So I personally went to military hospital and I told the doctor, hey, and I said, you know what, I have obsessive compulsive disorder and I want to be treated for that. So the doctor is like, how come you know that you have obsessive compulsive disorder? So then I shared the traits, that this is how I count blocks and this is how I do, this is how, people like they wash hands and stuff. And then he said, yeah, and finally, after great effort, I managed to convince him that I have obsessive compulsive disorder. And he was forced to prescribe medication. So that's it. And of course, things did not turn out to be very hunky-dory then. It was a very difficult phase for me, staying all alone. On one hand, handling the separation of parents, and I'm the only child, and at the same time trying to, I would say, salvage my career. Finally, in the year 2000, I came to NIMHANS or I came to Bangalore because of NIMHANS, and I decided to settle down here primarily because of the mental health facilities that are here. And if I look back in hindsight, I think I took the right decision, absolutely. Now, when I was coming back from office today, I was just thinking about it, it kind of complete flashback came to me. I still remember that day in the year 2000 when I was admitted in NIMHANS for about close to 6 months, when a team of doctors came and they told me that you cannot recover beyond 60%. So 60% is quite functional. You can lead your life, and people who have probably heard me before, I might be going through that beaten path, but I was told that that's fine, 60%, you can open an ST booth or a fridge rakh yeah, cold drinks, and that's it. You can keep a refrigerator, cold drinks, and you can run your life. But then how could an over-ambitious or a narcissistic person like me accept that? I did not accept that at all, and I actually decided to take the bull by the horns, and I told them, you know what? I'm going to prove all of you wrong one day, and a day will come that my name will be written in the books of psychiatry, and you will be citing my example to others. And I think I'm close to that today. And of course, it wasn't easy. I still remember I was I was sitting in one corner of that ward, and I was crying and lamenting and saying that no, I will not accept this. This is not my destiny. I will write my own destiny. And it wasn't an easy path, of course. And I very vividly remember how they kept on telling me it's okay, it's difficult to accept, but I said, all right, let them say that, let them say. I have my own path, I will go that way. And boy, I mean, it was quite an explosive interaction between me and the team of doctors. But I don't know whether I proved them wrong, but what I can share with you is that I don't have an STD boot today. Okay? So I've come quite a long way, and as far as corporate experience is concerned, I entered the corporate world in the year 2004, and I started right from bottom as a typical call center agent. Used to take calls whole day, and then of course I've gradually moved up the ladder, but it wasn't easy. It's not that I've not stumbled. I've stumbled, I've fallen down, I've been kind of unconscious or whatever you say, but the trick is that I've gotten up again and I've started running again. Okay, and I'd like to share something which is about where I would really need, rather than talking about my own heroics, where I would really need the intervention of psychiatrists, the panel, the distinguished people and the dignitaries that we have over here, is that, I work with global giants. I don't want to take any names. I work with the best of the so-called blue chip companies in India. And, first of all, let me tell you something which you already know, that if you're a man without an arm and you have decent competence, it is for sure that you'll get a job. But if you're a man who has recovered from mental disability and have above average competence, the most possible answer you'll get is we will get back to you. Okay? And it's the truth. Whether you acknowledge it or not, it is the truth. And I don't think that, I don't know whether the doctors over here agree with me on that, but I certainly believe in that because I've personally seen it in my life. So first of all, it's very difficult to get a job when you've been diagnosed with a psychiatric illness or a mental disability. And if at all you do get in, by not disclosing, right? And if you have a relapse or you need certain leave and you have to diagnose and you have to disclose that, you actually are considered as a liability for the company. There are no growth prospects. There are no growth prospects. Why? Because they say, well, you have a psychiatric problem, you should not take pressure. So if we give you additional responsibilities, you may not be able to do justice to that. So let's, you take rest, don't take much pressure. But why not? I mean, if a person without an arm can get a job, if a normal person can do it, even I can do it. But it doesn't seem to sink in with the big companies. And another thing that I'd like to state is that, again, about this, that no matter how many fitness certificates you produce, that I am absolutely fit and qualified to do my duties, it still doesn't get accepted. Yes, and most of the blue chip companies and the global giants these days have newsletters and magazines, and they say, all right, where they show that, all right, going through emotional stress, job stress, marital problems, pick up the phone and call us or email us on so and so, and we will help you. And I have seen that when the newsletter comes out, they actually showcase people who've been helped to come back to the society, but those who are suffering from physical disabilities. You know, friends, I'm yet to come across a case where they've actually showcased that we have helped this man get back into society who was down with a mental disability. Not a single case. Okay? The atmosphere has become very serious, I don't know why. Okay. So, before I wind up, I'd like to thank a few people who've been really instrumental in me coming this far, and I'm sure that, the doctors would also be aware that there are multiple psychosocial organizations available, psychosocial organizations who are tied up with corporates, and they say that we offer free counseling, we offer free advice, whatever, but these are purely beer mugs. Now, beer mugs is an American jargon which means that these things are there, but just for the heck of it. But they don't really actually put it into practice. So they're there for the heck of it, but not really effective. I would, before I close, I would just like to thank a few people who've been really instrumental in my recovering and coming this far. First and foremost, I'd like to thank God for giving me the courage to fight against all odds and be resilient. And this reminds me of our 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, what she said, that Sura so pehchani hai jo lare deen ke khet, purja kat mare, kabu na chadu khet. So what it effectively means is, I mean, a lot of you would have probably understood that he alone is a spiritual hero who fights for a noble cause. He may be cut apart piece by piece, but he never leaves the battlefield. And I'm still in the battlefield, right? Secondly, I would like to thank all the doctors who've really helped me during these years. I've been really willing to come forth and lend a helping hand. But of all the people, if there is one person, one doctor who has stood out and who stood by me in thick and thin and has been with me, and he's handled me in my wildest forms, and he's been like a rock of Gibraltar for me, is Dr. Y.S. Janardhan Reddy, sitting right over there. So can we have a huge round of applause for him, please? Tell me that much. So we often sometimes have a very nice sparring, and the topic of the discussion is management versus medical science. So I would not like to go ahead and say who represents medical science and who represents management. Yes, I also have my daughter Pari over there, who actually gave me the inspiration to live and created a zest. Pari beta? That's my daughter Pari, and she really is a Pari, nothing sort of a Pari, she's an angel for me. She created a zest in zest for life in me, and now I feel that I have a reason to live. So while she created a zest for life, there was another lady who created life in me. And as we say, that even ma'am touched upon that aspect, that behind every successful man there is a woman. Though I came across a real fast one the other day. It said, behind every successful man there is a woman, and behind every unsuccessful man there are multiple women. Okay, so I have refrained from getting into multiple women, so I've stuck to one woman, and well, ladies and gentlemen, that is that lady over there who's taking my pic. That's my wife, Amarjeet Kaur Oberoi. Yes, I love you, Amarjeet. Who gave me recognition when nobody gave me recognition, not even my parents. And she was the one who came forth and gave me recognition and said that, don't worry, I'm there to support you. And as I think she rightly proved it right, that behind every successful man there is a woman. Towards the end, I'll just say that today, most people who are down with some kind of a psychiatric illness, when they have to seek an opinion, when they have to go for an appointment for the doctor, a psychiatrist, you really don't say, how many people say that, can I get 2 hours off? I need to go and see my psychiatrist. No. People say, I need to go and see my grandmom because she's not well. Or I need to go and see off my father, he's leaving for the town, he's leaving for Delhi today. So I would probably need an early leave. But I just want, and this is my appeal to all the dignitaries here and all the eminent personalities, that let's come up with reforms and let's create a society where when you actually need to go to a psychiatrist, you should be bold enough to say that I need 2 hours off. Dr. Mohan Isaac is nodding his head, yes, all right. So I need 2 hours off. Why? Because I need to go and see my psychiatrist, because I'm not really in the right frame of mind today. And that would be a great victory, I think, for so many people. Trust me. So the last thing, yes, I've taken a lot of time. Like Dr. Roy came up with a verse from Harivanshana Bachchan? Where is Dr. Roy? Yes, yeah, he's there. Yeah. So here's a verse of my own, okay? So I was inspired. So I said, since he's set the tone, so I got to follow him. So it says, it's in Hindi, so I'll not get into translation bit. It says, Rakh hausla hai manzil ke musafir, रख हौसला है मंजिल के मुसाफिर, ओके लेट मी से इट अगेन, ओके। रख हौसला है मंजिल के मुसाफिर, प्यासे के पास चल के समुंदर भी आएगा, न थक के हार बैठ कहीं है मंजिल के मुसाफिर, मंजिल भी मिलेगी और मिलने का मजा भी आएगा। राइट, थैंक यू वेरी मच।